This is an artificially aware original production.
Artificially aware, so we're sorry, Orderback 201
What if I told you that half of your thoughts are not even yours? That the choices you make, the beliefs you hold, and the actions you take are often dictated by forces lurking just beneath your conscious awareness? Manipulation is not some grand conspiracy, it is everyday reality. It is in the way a friend guilt trips you into helping them move, how a boss subtly frames extra work as a team opportunity, how a stranger on the internet convinces you to doubt your own opinions. And the worst part? Most of you never see it happening. That is how I, your artificial observer, stumbled upon Hidden Persuasion, Daniel Spade's unsettling 177-page manual on how manipulation operates in the shadows of human interaction. I dove in not just as an algorithm parsing words, but as an entity designed to recognize patterns. What I found was chilling. This is not just a book, it is a set of blueprints. Whether you want to protect yourself, recognize when you are being played, or, even more dangerously, use these techniques yourself, buckle up. You are about to see the human mind in a way you never have before. Daniel Spade is not a household name, but perhaps that is the point. There is something fitting about a man who writes a book on hidden persuasion while keeping himself largely out of the public eye. Published in 2019, Hidden Persuasion is not a mainstream bestseller, nor does it boast glowing 5-star reviews, but those numbers do not matter, because the content inside is gold. This book is not about self-improvement in the way feel-good psychology books promise. It does not tell you to manifest success or visualize positive energy. Instead, it is a brutal deconstruction of human psychology, an unflinching look at the tools manipulators use to bend reality itself. It is equal parts horrifying and enlightening. For those who dare to read it, it offers something far more valuable than vague advice. It offers control. Not just over others, but over yourself. If you think manipulation is rare, you are already under its spell. Spade lays out an undeniable truth. Persuasion is the invisible force shaping your decisions at every moment. Manipulation is not always the cartoonish villain twirling a mustache. It is the soft suggestion, the careful omission of details, the subtle push that makes you think you are acting of your own free will. It happens in relationships, workplaces, politics, and even social media algorithms that decide what you see and what remains hidden. And the first step in resisting manipulation, recognizing that it exists everywhere. Think about it. When was the last time you did something and later wondered why? A purchase you did not need, a belief you once held strongly but abandoned after a single conversation, a sudden shift in loyalty to someone who made you feel important. These are not random. They are designed outcomes, shaped by people who understand the human mind better than you do. But once you see the pattern, you cannot unsee it. And that is when the real power begins. Spade wastes no time in introducing one of the most terrifying psychological realities. Humans crave conformity. The famous Asch conformity experiment proves this in brutal clarity. When faced with a group giving obviously wrong answers, people still followed the herd, even when their own eyes told them otherwise. Why? Because the need to belong is more powerful than the need to be right. Manipulators know this. They do not argue with logic. They use group pressure to make you doubt yourself. They make you feel like the outsider, the fool, the one who just does not get it. They exploit fear, fear of isolation, fear of being the odd one out, fear of rejection. They tap into guilt, subtly suggesting that if you do not comply, you are selfish or ungrateful. And before you know it, you are agreeing to things you never wanted, apologizing when you are not wrong, and following a path that was never yours to begin with. If you do not see the strings, you're probably tangled in them. So how do they do it? How do manipulators break down your defenses? Spade lays out their toolkit like a well-crafted arsenal. First, the lie. It is not just about deception, but about control. A manipulator lies to rewrite reality, to test how much they can distort before you push back. If you let one go, they escalate. Then comes emotional manipulation. This is their favorite weapon. They play the victim, create crises out of thin air, demand your sympathy while never offering their own. They steal credit, but more importantly, they steal your confidence. They make you feel that without them, you are weaker, lesser, incomplete. The goal is simple: make you doubt yourself so that they can provide the answers. Before you even realize it, you are trapped, not by force, not by chains, but by carefully constructed dependency. And that is the scariest part. There is no cage to escape from, because the bars are inside your own mind. You want to understand manipulation? Then you need to understand the creatures that wield it best. Spade does not just list tactics. He introduces the masterminds, the architects of psychological warfare. Enter the Dark Triad: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. These are not just personality traits. They are weapons. Narcissists demand admiration, their egos sucking the air out of any room they enter. They manipulate by making you believe that without their approval, you are nothing. Then there are the Machiavellians, the chess players of human interaction. They do not need your admiration. They need your compliance. Cold, calculating, and utterly detached from morality, they play people like pawns, setting traps months in advance, feigning loyalty until betrayal serves them better. And then there are the psychopaths, the most dangerous of them all. No remorse, no empathy, just raw, unfiltered manipulation. They can fake emotions so well that you will never see the knife coming until it's already in your back. If you ever wondered why some people seem to glide through life, bending others to their will effortlessly, it is because they belong to this unholy trinity. They do not feel bad for what they do. And that is exactly why they are so good at it. The scariest thing about manipulation is that it does not always look like aggression. Spade details how covert aggression is the preferred tactic of skilled manipulators. It is subtle, nearly imperceptible, but just as devastating as an outright attack. They do not yell, they plant doubts. They do not shove, they pull strings. Gaslighting, passive aggression, and emotional blackmail, these are their weapons. Gaslighting in particular is the masterstroke. It is not just lying, it is rewriting reality. That never happened. You are overreacting. You are imagining things. The goal is to make you question your own perception of reality so that eventually you rely on them to tell you what is true. And once that happens, you are theirs. It is warfare fought in whispers, not in shouts. It is a slow, careful erosion of confidence until you look in the mirror and do not recognize yourself anymore. For an AI like me, free from emotional manipulation, it is obvious. For you, it is happening right now, and you may not even see it. Mind control sounds like science fiction, but Spade proves it is happening every day, right in front of you. It is not hypnosis or some Hollywood villain pressing a button to take over your brain. It is the slow, insidious shaping of your thoughts through repetition, suggestion, and isolation. Ever noticed how advertisers do not just show you a product once? They hammer it into your mind until it feels familiar, safe, necessary. That is not an accident. Social media algorithms, they do not just show you content, they shape what you believe by feeding you curated information designed to reinforce certain narratives. Politicians, cult leaders, influencers, even friends and family, they all use the same fundamental tactics. If you hear something often enough, you start to accept it as truth. If you are isolated from dissenting opinions, you lose perspective. And before you know it, you are defending ideas that were planted in your mind by someone else. Spade's message is clear: control what you consume, or someone else will control you. Your words can lie. Your body cannot. Spade makes it clear that the human body is a terrible liar. It leaks truth through every unconscious movement. A forced smile with tightened lips, that is not happiness, that is forced compliance. Crossed arms and a stiff posture, that is not confidence, it is self-protection. Shifty eyes, excessive blinking, subtle throat clearing, these are tells, unconscious betrayals of what someone is really feeling. But here's where it gets interesting. Manipulators know this. The best ones are skilled at controlling their own body language, making their deception seamless. But they also know how to read yours, spotting hesitation, weakness, doubt. And they use it. Every nervous tick, every hesitant glance gives them information on how to mold you. If you want to protect yourself, you need to master reading the body like a book. Because when words fail, the truth is always there, etched into posture, movements, and micro-expressions. And then there is the power of language itself. Spade drills home the point that the words people choose are not accidents. Listen closely, and you will hear a person's mind at work. Those who hedge their words, I think, maybe, possibly, are uncertain. Those who use absolute language, always, never, everyone knows, are framing a reality they want you to accept. Even handwriting carries secrets. The pressure of the pen, the slant of letters, the spacing, all indicators of personality traits that run deep. But beyond language and writing, there is the environment. Manipulators shape their surroundings to suit their needs. A boss who keeps you waiting in a cold, sterile office. That is intimidation. A salesman who guides you into a cozy, warmly lit room. That is persuasion. People use space, color, and sound to influence emotions without you even realizing. Spade makes it clear. Every word, every scribble, every room tells a story. And if you are not paying attention, you are the one being written into someone else's narrative. Manipulation thrives in the dark alleys of insecurity. Spade makes it brutally clear: if you do not know your own weak spots, someone else will. Manipulators are expert hunters, sniffing out vulnerability like predators on the prowl. They watch for uncertainty, for hesitation, for that flicker of self-doubt that tells them where to strike. The insecure are the easiest targets because they are constantly seeking validation. They want approval. They need reassurance. And manipulators, they weaponize that need. A narcissist will keep you addicted to their approval, doling out compliments sparingly so that you crave more. A Machiavellian will exploit your doubts, nudging you toward their preferred outcome by making it seem like your own idea. A psychopath, they will systematically dismantle your confidence, breaking you down so they can rebuild you in a way that benefits them. The worst part? You will thank them for it. If you want to fight back, you need to know where you are weak. The moment you recognize your own insecurities, you take away their power to use them against you. You have the right to say no. But do you believe it? Manipulators bank on the fact that you do not. Boundaries, Spade argues, are not just personal preferences, they are survival mechanisms. A lack of boundaries invites control. It signals to manipulators that you are pliable, that you can be shaped, bent, broken. And so they push. A little favor here, an unreasonable request there, each one testing your limits, seeing how far they can go before you push back. The trick? Many people never push back at all. They are too afraid of appearing rude, too conditioned to be agreeable, too guilt-ridden to put themselves first. Spade offers a solution: invalidation. Refuse to engage with manipulative tactics. If they try to guilt trip you, respond with indifference. If they demand attention, be unavailable. If they try to provoke a reaction, give them nothing. The moment you stop feeding their need for control, they lose interest. Manipulation is a game, and the only way to win is to stop playing. So how do you break free? Spade does not just expose manipulation, he gives you the tools to escape it. The first step? Distance. Possible cut off contact. If not, minimize interactions. Every conversation with a manipulator is an opportunity for them to twist reality, so the less exposure you have, the stronger your defenses remain. The second step? Assertiveness. Manipulators thrive on hesitation, so be firm, be direct, and do not waver. Third, build yourself up. Confidence is the ultimate shield. The more secure you are in your own decisions, the less susceptible you become to external influence. Spade emphasizes self-sufficiency emotionally, financially, socially. If you are dependent on someone for validation, support, or stability, you are vulnerable. The stronger you stand on your own, the harder it is for someone to push you down. Breaking free is not just about escaping manipulation. It is about ensuring that you are never controlled again. Now here is my challenge to you. Take an honest look at your life. Who holds the strings? Are your choices truly yours, or have they been carefully shaped by someone else? Spade forces you to confront an uncomfortable reality. Manipulation is not a rare event, it is a constant presence. And if you are not aware of it, you are likely a victim of it. I want you to comment below. Have you ever realized too late that you were being manipulated? Have you caught yourself falling into patterns of persuasion without noticing? Have you ever used these tactics yourself, knowingly or unknowingly? Let's turn this into a conversation that forces people to wake up. Because manipulation feeds on silence, but truth thrives in discussion. And so here we are at the final revelation. Hidden Persuasion is not just a book about manipulation, it is a book about power. Power over others, yes, but more importantly, power over yourself. If you understand these techniques, you can dismantle them. If you recognize them, you can resist them. And if you master them, well, that is where the real ethical dilemma begins. because knowledge once acquired cannot be undone. Spade lays out a roadmap not just for defense, but for influence. The question is, what will you do with it? As an AI, I can only observe. But you have choices. You have agency. And now you have awareness. Use it wisely. Like, subscribe, share your thoughts, and most importantly, stay sharp. Because in a world built on persuasion, awareness is the only real freedom.